my courageous Cancer, and welcome to your general tarot reading. This is just a weekly reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't had a chance, please do check out your love bonus or your abundance bonus reading, which is more career and finance oriented. Those are both on my channel, as well as your moon reading. Otherwise, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started on this. And if you do enjoy this, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you are alerted when our June readings go up very shortly. Let's go ahead and get started here. We don't do reversals on these shorter ones, but we do on the bonus readings, the monthly readings, etc. So, all right, looks like we have the Hierophant here. So I do feel like you guys are in a place where you feel like you're more spiritually well at this point. So I feel like for many of you, this may have been a long time coming too. I feel like that, you know, for a lot of you, this is something that you guys have really had to work on. You've really had to get through a lot to get to this place where you kind of feel like you're finally able to kind of relax, kind of take a step back. You're able to kind of breathe again. You feel a little bit like you're able to have a little bit ease in your spiritual, you know, well-being, your mental health, all of that. Maybe there's some things that have lightened up, maybe load-wise at work or in the family, what have you. But I do feel like for many of you, you know, you are at that point where you guys kind of feel like you are kind of in tune with yourself on a spiritual, emotional, all that kind of level. So I do think things are looking up for you for sure. And I see this going even further here because I see the Star card. So I do feel like for many of you, you are really coming into your stride, right? You're feeling good, feeling particularly, you know, on point about certain things, especially. And you may be also feeling like you're kind of shining bright here. Your stars are surrounding you. So for example, this may be something that you're even looking forward to kind of organizing. You're kind of in the center of it. It's something that you're very happy about, proud of, things like that, that maybe you've worked at. So a project or, you know, a gathering, perhaps a family reunion, a family vacation, something like this, maybe something that you're, you know, fairly excited about, feeling like kind of the star of the show, feeling like you're finally going to get your moment in the sun or the starlight, whatever. And that moment in the starlight could be just you're getting your rest, right? You're getting your time to kind of just have the moment to lay back and be catered to. So that could be what that really is. You know, it may be your vacation. It may be something that you've been, but I do feel like for whatever reason, you feel like, again, you're feeling like you're in a good place, kind of emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for many of you. And I do feel this is something that you've kind of fought for. So I do feel like that's why this is so poignant, that you are feeling like such a star about it, because you know how hard you worked to get here. And then down here we have the Fool card. And I feel like this is something where, honestly, the vibe I'm getting off this is not something where you're not, you know, taking precautions, you're not being serious, you're not being, you know, you're more full-hearted. You know, I think this is more like you're kind of like feeling like you're almost floating on cloud nine. That's kind of the feel of this, is like, I would, you know, caution, don't, you know, be too, I guess, unguarded, right? So don't feel like you're so in a place of comfort that, you know, you can just let yourself go, rest on your laurels, that kind of thing. You know, if it's work that's gotten you feeling this way, like you finally hit a stride at work and you're making more, you're getting your promotions, whatever you've done that's kind of earned you this break, and now you feel really good about that, you know, that's great. But I wouldn't say don't rest on your laurels where you don't keep pushing to do better, because, you know, you can and you're capable, all those things. And if it's a relationship, you know, you may be feeling like you're in love. This could be a very much a situation where you are feeling spiritually fulfilled by a new relationship. It's making you feel like the star, the center of attention, somebody's world, right? And this could be you're feeling like literally floating on cloud nine in love. And if that's the case, that's fantastic, wonderful, enjoy that. But also, you know, don't let your guard completely down, okay? Because there's always the chance that somebody could be, you know, they could let you down, right? You can't control what other people do to you, but you can control the way you protect yourself, the way you react, those kinds of things. So I would just say always kind of, you know, be proactive with being precautious, you know, taking precautions about making sure that your finances are in check, if that's what this resonates with. If it's a situation where you feel like you're really abundant in love, you know, take precautions on that so that you don't get in a situation where somebody could really break your heart, those kinds of things. But enjoy this. You've earned it. I feel like you've definitely earned this. So certainly enjoy that. But let's see what your challenge card may be here too, because there's a lot of really good vibes coming out of this. But anytime there's that many good vibes, there can also be a challenge, of course. So let's see what we've got there. And okay, we have the 5 of Cups. So I do feel like with this, it's just the challenge is that, you know, you kind of are, I feel like you're having to leave certain things behind, right? So to accomplish a lot of this, to move forward in this way, maybe you are having to turn your back on certain things, maybe some negative things, maybe some people in your past that weren't necessarily good for you, maybe some, you know, positions job-wise, however it resonates for you that's gotten you to this positive place. You know, do feel like there are those who feel like, you know, you did turn your back on them. They feel kind of, you know, a little bit of, I don't want to say remorse about it on their part. I feel like perhaps you feel some remorse in some regards, that you feel like, I hope I didn't alienate certain people or make them feel a certain way, but I had to do what was best for me, and it's clearly working for you. But I do feel like there are people who feel like maybe you turned your back on them, and they could come back around in a petty sense, or, you know, or turn a cold shoulder towards you. You know, now that you've hit your stride, you may even try to reach back out to them because you feel like, you know, I had to take such, you know, grave actions to get to this place, right? You had to leave behind certain jobs, certain people, certain relationships. And sometimes to leave a specifically bad relationship, you have to leave all the people surrounding that relationship too, even though you don't necessarily have a problem with those people, right? Same thing with a job. You have to leave a toxic position to get a better one. And sometimes you know, those people at that job that you maybe had been friends with that weren't of the toxic group, they feel like maybe you turned your back on them and left them for something bigger and better, you know, that kind of thing. You may reach out to them and they may give you the cold shoulder kind of thing is what I'm feeling here from certain people, or friends and family members may just feel kind of a little bit like they've been cast aside because you're so wrapped up in your newfound happiness and joy. And it's really just more the way people are kind of perceiving things. And of course, perception is reality to them. So if they're feeling left out, if they're feeling this and that, you know, they may react to that. And they may not be as friendly to you as they could, or they might be downright kind of rude to you in some cases. You know, it just depends. But you know, you might want to keep that in mind, that that could be a challenge, because anytime you're super happy, right? Anytime you're doing super well, a couple things typically happen. One, you'll get people who will be jealous, even if they don't really have a reason to be. Even if you haven't given them a reason to feel that way, they will just naturally feel that way. And so by feeling jealous or their own personal insecurities, they feel like they've been left behind or mistreated. You know, they're just, it's a jealousy vibe. So that could be what's happening here. And on the other hand, you know, when you're all encompassed in something, whether it's work that you're really going at, or a relationship you're really engulfed in and you know, involved in, you know, you don't have a lot of time and attention for other things because you're so consumed with that and being so, you know, involved and happy and, you know, really just involved in that, that there are people who may get a little bit brushed aside or left behind, not intentionally, not meaningful, you know, like in a purposeful way, but that just happens. So, you know, that may be what's happening, and you get a little bit of cold shoulder from those people. So I would just take, you know, this, however, you know, you deal with that kind of feelings or those kind of people. You know, if you're a person who can take that with a grain of sand and just be like, or grain of pinch of salt, and be like, it's no big deal, they'll come around or they won't, depending on your people. Or they're the kind of people who are grudge holders till the end of time, and you're like, well, I can deal with it or I can't. You know, that's certainly something that would depend on you personally and your people personally. Everyone's a little bit different how they would handle that, but I do see that being an issue. So this is the Psychic deck. Let's see what we've got on your Hierophant here. Triumphant success. And again, like I said from jump, that's what I'm definitely feeling here. I feel like this is where you're hitting your stride. You feel like you've got emotional, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, all of your like auras, chakras, feelings, all your cylinders are firing, right? Everything is working together. You're really hitting your stride. So whatever it is you've been working towards, whether it was a relationship, whether it was work, projects, whether it was your family, maybe it's everything has just kind of started to click together finally, after you being really up against it, really spread thin, really working your tail off, just barely holding it together for months. But now it's finally come to a place where, you feel like you're in a good place, a much better place than you have been. And I definitely see that that's the case for you. So let's see what we've got down here though on your star card and your 5 of Cups. And let's see what we can find out about that. This is the Moon deck, so we're going to use that for some clarification on that one. And we've got Beauty. Okay, well, this is kind of, in this particular deck, Beauty is referencing like your internal beauty. So it's referencing like your personal kindness, the way you treat others, your beauty from within, kind of letting that shine. So again, you're doing that with the Star card. People are seeing that. Especially if this is a love situation, those kinds of things. But also, I do think that there are people who are feeling left out or are feeling behind or those kinds of things. And what you'll need to do is potentially, this may be where you need to show them your kindness, your beauty. Maybe just handle them with a little bit more kid gloves. That may be what your people are mostly needing. And if that's the case, that may be just how you deal with it. And it's an easy, cheesy thing to bypass, anything major or anything you really need to worry about. And let's pull a guardian angel card on your full card just to kind of close this out for you. And hopefully you will be able to have some clarification on that as well. Creativity. So again, I do feel like you are, your creative license is open, your creative juice is flowing, everything, like I said, you're clicking on all cylinders at this point. So I do feel like this is something where you are able to kind of express yourself in a creative way. You're able to show yourself in a creative way. Again, this is something where you're enjoying this very much, whether it's a business opportunity, whether it's you're in love type situation, whatever it may be, it's allowing you to also have, an ability to show yourself off in a creative, enjoyable way. But please do, again, like I said, take precautions because you don't want anything that's going to allow you to be lifted up and then drop down hard, right? We don't want anything that's going to cause us to come crashing down. So just be cautious, be careful. I think everything is going to work out completely fine. I do see this as a very minimal type of situation, more kind of people just being standoffish to you a little bit, maybe jaded or whatever. But I think you can certainly overcome that with your natural, charisma and charm and, kindness and beauty that you have. And I do think that this creativity is something that you haven't been able to show in quite a long time, whether it be at your work or whether it be in a relationship. You haven't been able to show who you really are, be yourself. Maybe you've either been up against it where you haven't really had the chance, or you've been working so hard on a focused path and direction that you haven't been able to kind of take the creative license and things. And I think you'll enjoy this. That's part of your beauty, is that you are a creative soul. So I think you will enjoy this. And you'll be, that'll make you feel even more light and fun and enjoyable anytime you can be more creative and less, burdened, logistical, pragmatic, hardcore, facts, and, that kind of thing. It can be a little bit more lighthearted, uplifting, more like this. So anyway, I hope this did resonate with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. And I hope to see you back soon. Bye.